Hey guys, it's Hannah, and I've been getting a lot of questions about the Disney College program that I will be doing next fall. So I thought I would just make a video, and I'm going to post it here on Facebook. I'm going to post it on YouTube. That way any friends and family that are curious about what's going on can be updated, as well as any future um, college program applicants that want to be prepared for what they're about to have to go through. It's not that crazy. Um, so I was accepted to go to the Disney. Well, okay, hold on. First, let me talk about what the Disney College program actually is. So you're working there, you're learning. They call it living, learning, and actually I don't remember. But you work there, you are taking classes, and you live there. So I will be working quick service food and beverage. They won't tell me exactly where I'll be working until I move in. So it could be in a park, could be in a resort, could be anywhere else that they have food. Basically, I might have like a little cart to push around. I have no clue. I will let y'all know. I'll make more videos. And you're learning, so you're taking classes. They offer a lot of classes about business, leadership, and some entertainment. The class situation kind of confuses me a little bit. I'll let y'all know when I get more details on it, but there are some classes that are specific to your majors and some classes that anyone can take. So yeah, I'll let y'all know what classes I ended up taking, but they're all going to be great classes that are geared, that are going to be beneficial to anyone trying to go into the work field. And you live there. They have, I think, 4 apartment complexes that are all a little bit different, and I think you get to pick your apartment complex. I'll let y'all know when it happens, how all of that's going to go down. But yeah, okay, so applying for the program, first of all, they have a ton of applicants. So, and they accept a ton, but they don't accept everybody. I know a lot of people that had to apply a couple times to get in. I was fortunate and I got in on my first time, but it does happen, just so y'all know. And it doesn't, it's up to one casting, or not casting director, but one interviewer, that makes the decision. It's not Disney's rejection. But, so, you apply online, you go to the like, if you type in, like, Disney College Program on Google, it's going to be, like, the very first thing that comes up. And you apply. They did ask me for my GPA. They asked me for basic, work experience, a normal application stuff. It took like 15 minutes to do this whole thing. And they asked me to rank my job preferences. So, like, for instance, quick service food and beverage, they would say, like, do you have no interest, low interest, moderate interest, high interest? And so you just I picked moderate interest on quick service food and beverage, and that's the job that I was offered. So even though, like, for character performer, I picked high interest, and for, lifeguard, I picked high interest. So, I don't know if they really care about that, but they offer you what's available. I have a lot of quick service food and beverage experience on my resume, so that might be where that came from. I wouldn't recommend picking no interest for anything, because if you pick no interest, first of all, that looks like, you don't really want to work there that bad. And second of all, they won't consider you for that job. I would pick low interest on the things that you really don't want to do, like maybe custodial is a kind of unpopular one. And then if that's the job you end up getting offered, then you can decide if it's worth it. I would just wait. I wouldn't pick no interest. That's a personal opinion from the other people that I have talked to. about it, and the people that haven't got in and the people that have. There are people that disagree and say it doesn't matter. So it's up to you, but that's just how I feel about it. Not everybody gets past this phase, and I'm not really sure what it is that they're looking for. There are people that have their opinions, but I haven't found any real correlation between the people that move past that and the people that don't. But they send you, if you do get past, pretty soon, like a day, 24 hours, 48 hours, you'll get an email that asks you to do a web-based interview. And the web-based interview asks you a bunch of, it's an online thing, it's timed, you have like 45 minutes, and it asks you a bunch of questions about, like, basic interview questions, like, they'll be phrased like, I enjoy working alone rather than with a group. And then you have to answer, like, strongly disagree, agree, moderately agree, strongly agree, or something like that. And the thing is, they will ask you that question differently, like in different ways, several times. So it will be definitely in your best interest to answer all the questions the same way. That way, because they really want to see that you're being honest and being yourself. I think that matters a lot more than your actual answer does. I've heard a lot of people say that it's best to have strong opinions, so don't click neutral on every answer. They want to see that you have opinions and you're a real person. So a lot of people told me when I was applying to pick strongly agree and strongly disagree, or moderately, rather than the middle. I did a lot of moderately's, and I did some stronglies, and I did have a couple neutrals. I tried to stay away from saying neutral, but I did say neutral a couple times. I made it through. So I don't think saying neutral is going to, like, delete you, but there probably is some truth to that they want to see you have opinions. I believe that. So then you should hear back pretty soon. I heard back, they'll email you and ask you to, if you get through. I got an email within like the next 2 hours that asked me to schedule a phone interview. So not everybody moves on, not everybody gets a phone interview, but it'll happen pretty fast if you do. So in the phone interview, I had about 2 weeks to prepare, which you need to be prepared for this phone interview, because if you aren't prepared, and that comes across, it's very obvious when you haven't really thought about what you're going to say to your interviewer. So yeah, because that means that you're not really interested, or that's how they're going to interpret it anyways. So be prepared to answer questions like, why do you want to work at Disney? How is Disney going to help you with your professional career? That question kind of threw me through the loop, but it was easy to answer since, I'm a music education major. But not, if your major's math, that's kind of going to be a difficult question. How's that going to help you with your career? So I would really be thinking about that. And they asked me, this was a fun question. They asked me, how would you handle a customer, or a guest, they say guest, that came up to you that was angry that their character wasn't in the park that day? I just said, I would show them what characters were in the park and hope one of them sparked their interest, and let them know when their character would be back. 'Cause, yeah, and then just apologize and see if there's anything else you can do to make their day more magical. That's kind of a hard question. There's not really a one answer, but just be prepared to have stuff like that thrown at you, because you never know. You can go online and look at a bunch of different questions that people have been asked before. I know there's a ton of blogs and stuff so that you can get prepared with stuff like that. I wasn't prepared for that question, but I think I did an okay job of answering it. I mean, I got in, so I didn't do too terribly. At the end of the interview, they are going to ask you if you have any questions, and I would recommend thinking of some questions to ask your interviewer because, first of all, that just shows interest. It shows that you care, and you probably have some questions that you just, when somebody's like, do you have any questions? You're like, I don't know. So yeah, just think about that for a second. And what else? I had to wait 2 weeks to get my acceptance email, and so that was really fun. And then 2 days later, I had to head to Dallas for the character performer auditions on March 10th. So the character performer auditions, they told us to be there at 11:30 and not to come early. Well, we got there at 11 and we were the last people in line. So that's not true. But yeah, there was about 200 people there, and we had to learn this animation where we're like waving like we are on a parade, and they want to see you be big and full of energy, but they also want to see you setting up the scene in your mind. Like, don't just wave like a crazy person the whole time. Like, see a little girl with Mickey Mouse ears and like, oh, that's cute, ah, and then we learned like a 8-count dance, and it was really easy. I'm a terrible dancer, so it wasn't easy for me, but it was easy for everybody else. And so that was fun, and they had us do it in groups of 4, and then they eliminated about half right there. And I was kind of sad, but I got to go on to the next round. And they brought us into a different room, and we had to fill out some really basic paperwork. And it was just really simple stuff. And then they brought us into another room, and they took our height, and they took a picture of us. And then we had to learn a new animation, which was, we had to like pretend to be a toy maker building a toy for 30 seconds. And then for the next 30 seconds, we had to actually become our toy. So I was being a T-Rex, and it was like, like just T-Rex stuff. And then we had to learn a longer dance. It was like 16 or 24 counts or something like that. And it was harder. But they kept saying over and over again that it's not about the dance as much as it is about your energy and your movements and your animation. And so that was encouraging, even though I didn't get selected to be a character performer. I got the email about 1 or 2 weeks later. But it's okay because they auditioned over 1,000 people and selected about 150. So I wasn't crushed. But so that's what that process looks like. At the end of the audition, they did call some people back and they told them that they were in consideration for face characters and parade dancers. Like, they were either really strong dancers or they just had the look that they were looking for to be a princess or something like that. Most of the people that they were casting at the auditions were being cast as fur characters. So that's Mickey Mouse, Chip and Dale, like those kinds of people. Yeah, they were not casting a lot of princesses and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the auditions, that's the application process. Now, once you get in, you just join a bunch of Facebook groups and try to find some roommates to live with. But yeah, after I move in and I figure out where I'm working and how the move-in day goes, I'll make another video so y'all can hear all about that. And yeah, I'm really excited. I will be there, I don't know if I've already said this, but I will be there from April. I'll be there from August 15th to January 5th. So I'll be there over Christmas and Thanksgiving. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will keep y'all updated as life goes on. Thank you.